Good day, everyone. I'm Sir RJ Layson, your math tutor and guide on this exciting journey through the world of numbers. In this video, we will discuss all about logic and reasoning. Let us define first what is mathematical reasoning. Reasoning is drawing of inferences or conclusion from known or assumed facts. So there are two types of reasoning, which are inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Let us define first what is inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is the process of reaching a general conclusion by examining specific observation. If you look at here in the illustration, which is we have here premise, look for a patterns. These are the specific observation until you will get into the general conclusion class. So from specific to general. Again, inductive reasoning is from specific observation to general conclusion. So these are the examples, some of the examples of mathematical reasoning under inductive reasoning. So examples, in the summer, there are ducks on our ponds. Therefore, summer will bring ducks to our ponds. So we have here in specific information that in summer daw, na daw mga ducks sa ilang ponds. So therefore, it is summer. For example, it is summer now. That means summer will bring ducks to our ponds. So that is the general conclusion for this one. So from specific information or specific observation to general conclusion. Next, we have every year we get a thunderstorm in May. So these are these statements conclude that their experience that every summer or every May they will experience thunderstorms. Since it is May, we will get a thunderstorm. So these are the general conclusion now. So again, from specific observation to general conclusion. Next example, we have every quiz has been easy. Therefore, the test will be easy. Since they've experienced an easy quiz class, so from time to time, that means their conclusion will be, or their general observation or general conclusion will be, the test will be easy. From specific to general. Let's define now what is deductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning is the process of reaching a conclusion by applying general ideas called premises. So it's like a funnel class. So from big na circle until no gamay na circle. So in here, in the big circle part, or from general conclusion or general conclusion, there are laws applied, recognized rules, theories, until you will get to specific conclusion or specific observation. So here are the examples of deductive reasoning. So example, all men are mortal. Harold is a man. Therefore, Harold is mortal. So stated here, general conclusion that all men are mortal. And then specific information, Harold is a man. Therefore, Harold is mortal. So specific information also. So from general, specific observation or information, and specific observation. Next example, if all organisms are made of cells, that is correct. That is the general observation. And human or organism, that is specific observation. Then human are made of cell. That is also a specific information. General information that all organisms, including humans, plants, and animals, are made of cell. And human are organism. That is right. Then humans are made of cell. That is correct. So from general observation to specific observations. Next, we have if x is equals to 4 and if y is equals to 1, then 2x plus y is equals to 9. So here, as you observe, no, for example, if you're going to find, or if you're going to ask, no, if you are going to ask to find the value of x, di ba class that given, di ba ang or what you call this, the equation will be given. And also the y will also be given to find the value of x, right? Now here, in finding, it's stated here that the first given, or it's first stated here that the answer of x is equals to 4. That means that is the general conclusion. And the specific information is the given equation, which is 2x plus y is equals to 9, and y is equals to 1. So that is an example of deductive reasoning. So from general conclusion to specific informations. So these are the tables showing the difference between the inductive and deductive reasoning. So in the inductive reasoning, observation-based. In deductive reasoning, diba? Plus inductive reasoning, observation-based, diba? We need to observe the specific observation. And deductive reasoning is based on theory. So it can be applied by the laws, rules, and theories. And then process in inductive reasoning, process of reaching a conclusion based on a series of observation. So based on specific observation until we reach to conclusion. Now in deductive reasoning is the process of reaching conclusion based on the previous known facts. So that means we need to anchor the specific information into the known facts. Next, in inductive reasoning, conclusion may not be valid. While in deductive reasoning, conclusions are correct and valid. Okay. In inductive reasoning also, it used to form a hypothesis. While in deductive reasoning, it used to prove ideas. In inductive reasoning, draws general principle from specific instances. Deductive reasoning draws specific conclusion from general principles. In inductive reasoning, always involves uncertainty, while deductive reasoning involves certain and true. Okay, so as you can see now, these are the difference between inductive and deductive reasonings. Now let's define what is logic. A logic is the science of study on how to evaluate argument and reasoning. It used to establish the validity of arguments. It helped us to differentiate correct reasoning from poor reasoning. And it helped us to reason correctly. So what is a proposition? A proposition is a statement that can be classified as true or false, but not both true or false. So it is a declarative statement that makes a claim that can be evaluated as being true or false. So let's have an example. What is a proposition? So again, a proposition is a statement that can be classified or can be answered or evaluated as true or false. Okay, let's have an example. This rose is white. So of course, if you are holding a white rose, that means that is true. Okay. Triangles have 4 vertices. Does triangles have 4 vertices? No, there are 3 only vertices in a triangle. So that means that is a false proposition. Next, 3 plus 3 is equals to 4. Is that correct? No, that 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. So that is a false proposition. Next, 6 is less than 24. Is 6 less than 24? Yes, that is true. That is an example of proposition. It is raining. So if you look at the weather outside, no, you can only you can judge if it, or you can evaluate if it is raining or not. So if it is raining, true. If it is not, it's false. So statement, exclamation, questions, and demands are not proposition, since they can be identified as either true or false. Again, exclamations, questions, and demands are not propositions. Okay. Example, keep up the grass. Is keep up the grass can be answered by true or false? No. So that means that is not a proposition. Long live the queen. That is an exclamation, right? So that is not a preposition. Keep up the grass is a demand. Okay. Did you go to Jane's party? That is a question. So that means that is not a proposition. And it cannot be answered by true or false. Only yes or no, right? Don't say that. That is a demand. So that means that is not a proposition. Statement represents by letters such as P, Q, and R, and we use not following symbols for and, or, and not. So, and, or, not are example of connectives. So, there are different kinds of statement also, that which is a simple statement. A simple statement is a statement that conveys a single idea. For example, Lailani is beautiful. So the idea there, the single idea that Lailani is beautiful. Next, a compound statement is a statement that conveys two or more ideas, can be joined by logical connectives. So what are the examples of logical connectives, which is and, or, if then, if and only if. So for example, Lailani is beautiful and kind. So there are two ideas connected, like using connectives, which is beautiful and kind. Those are the two ideas, or that is a compound statement. And it is connected by a connective class. So these are here in the table stated here, the connective, the symbol, the symbolic form, and the type of statement. Now here, in our lesson about logic class, we will now specify each of them, and we will make a truth table out of them. For example, here, our first connective is not. So the symbol here is this one. So pa-wave sa class. The symbolic form here is, we will read this one also as not. So not P. That is the type of statement of negation. Next, the connective and. The symbol for that one is Balina V class. Balina V. So the symbolic form is P and Q. We will read this one as and also. That is conjunction. Next, connective or. The symbol for or is V class, pavina form. The symbolic form is P or Q. That is disjunction. Next, we have connective if, then. The symbol for that is yung arrow class. Okay. Next, the symbolic form is P. If P, then Q. That is a conditional statement. Next, we have if and only if. So, double arrow ang kinang symbol class. If and only if ang pabasa diapon ani. So, if P, if and only if Q. That is biconditional statement. Now, let's go run through for each of these types of statement or each of connective class. Let's go first to negation. Negation of the proposition P is denoted by not P, where not, this is the symbol for not, is the symbol for not. Okay. If P is true, then not P is false. Meaning the truth value of the negation of proposition is always the reverse, that means balik class, of the truth value of the original proposition. For example here, Lailani is beautiful. That is your proposition. When you negate that proposition, it will transform into Lailani is not beautiful. So it's reverse class, the reverse statement of your negation. So to negate the statement, we can use the following tables. This table works in both directions because not and not P is equals to P. So statement all, the negation of that is some and not all. Another example, we have some statement, the negation of that is none or all do not. So here in the truth table, if you had a P proposition and then a not P proposition, so for example, the truth table here, so if you have one statement, so that means true or false, right? So in P, first statement, if your first statement is true, your negation of P or not P here is false. And then if your statement is false, the negation of your not P or the negation of your P is true. Hingana lang class, reverse of your proposition. So if true, ma-false siya sa not P. If false siya, ma-true siya sa not P. Reverse lang ang negation. Example, today is Monday. So what is not P here? Today is not Monday. Next example, Lucas is not a singer. So what is the negate of that? Lucas is a singer. Next, all vegetables are green. That is your proposition. Next, your not P here is some vegetables are not green. Okay, that is an example of negation. Next, the truth table and equivalent statements, the truth table T or the falsity F of a proposition is called the truth table. A table which summarizes truth values of proposition is called the truth table. So, in the proposition, in the negation class, this is one of the example now of your truth table here. The negation, the truth table of negation. Now, let's proceed now to the conjunction. The conjunction of a proposition and P and Q and compound is P and Q. The symbol, what is the symbol for conjunction or for and? Balinga V class. So P and Q were, this symbol and is the symbol for and. Okay. So, what will you remember, class, if meron tayong proposition na P and Q? So, that means we have two ideas here, or a compound statement, which is your first statement is P and your second statement is Q. So, how will you make a truth table, class? Diba? 2 raised to 2. So, what is 2 raised to 2? 2 times 2. That means you will have a 4 statement in each proposition, class. So, first, in your first column, you will write true, true, false, false. And then your Q statement, you will use alternate, class, ang imong answer. True, false, true, false. Again, so if you have two ideas or a compound statement, class, with two ideas, so your first proposition, you will write true, true, false, false. Permi na class, kining, what you call that, given na siya. And your second statement, Q, true, false, true, false. Now, if P is true and Q is true, then P and Q is true. So if true, true, that means P and Q is true. Next, if P is true and Q is false or vice versa, then P and Q is false. So true, false, that is false. False, true, false. False, and next, if P is false and Q is false, then P and Q is false. False, false. Now, in conjunction, class, you just need to remember, if both statement is true, that means your proposition or your P and Q is true. The rest are false na. So, mo true lang siya when both statement is true. That is in conjunction. P and Q, true, true. That is P and Q is true. It is raining. Your P statement is it is raining. Your Q statement, the sun is shining. So how will you write the proposition for this one? It is raining today and the sun is shining. So P and Q. I like Pepsi, your first proposition. Your Q proposition is I like Coke. So how will you write P and Q here? P and Q, I like Pepsi and I like Coke. For the disjunction of the proposition PQ is the compound preposition of P or Q. The symbol for disjunction, class, remember, or kanang V nga symbol, pina V. So the truth table for this one, so we have P statement, Q statement. So that means two or more ideas, compound preposition ang gagamitin natin. So P or Q, so you look at here, the disjunction is inclusive in the sense that the compound of disjunction proposition is true whenever at least one of its simple proposition is true. So, it's either of them, class, or at least one of the proposition is true. That means the statement is true. And exclusive if exactly one of its simple proposition is true. Okay. Now, here in Here in disjunction class, you need to remember that true, true is true. True, false is true. Again, inclusive and exclusive class. At least one of the statement is true. That means your P or Q or your disjunction is true. F and false and true, that is true. And then lastly, false and false, that is false. Okay. You need to remember that in disjunction lang class, if both statement is false, the P or Q statement is false. Again, false, false, the P or Q statement is false. Let's have a recall. In conjunction statement, mo true lang siya when both statement is true. While in disjunction, mo false lang siya when both statement is false. Mo lang na ang imong i-remember class. Next, it is raining. Your P statement. Your Q statement is the sun is shining. So what will you write your P or Q statement? It is raining today or the sun is shining. Next, I like Pepsi. That is your P statement. Your Q statement is I like Coke. So what will you write your P or Q statement? I like Pepsi or I like Coke. Now here, example number 4, we have let P represents the statement, she has a green eyes. And your Q statement represents that she is 48 years old. Translate each symbolic compound statement into words. So we have here, not Q. What is your Q statement? She is 48 years old. So how will you write this one? She is not a 48 years old. Since it is stated here, negate of your Q statement. Next, we have P or Q. What is your P statement? She has a green eyes. And your Q statement, she is 48 years old. Your connectives here is or. So how will you write this one? She has a green eyes or she is 48 years old. Next, we have P and not Q. So that means your P statement is she has a green eyes. The connective or the symbol is and then it state here the second statement is not P. What is not P? She is not 48 years old. So what is the statement now? She has a green eyes and she is not a 48 years old. That is 48 years old, sorry. Next, not P and not Q. So your not P statement here, she does not, okay, she does not have green eyes. And your Q or not Q statement is she is not 48 years old. Since your connective here is and, so your final statement now is she does not have green eyes and she is not 48 years old. Next, we have here in your you try to answer this one, activity number 1. You just need to write the compound statement in symbolic form. Now, in our previous activity, diba, from symbolic form to compound statement. Now, it's your time to write the compound statement in symbolic form. Use the statement P is today is Friday. Q statement is there is a heavy traffic. R statement is I am not going home to the province. S statements is I will visit a friend. So you try to translate this one, 1, 2, 3, and 4 into symbolic form. Okay, we will discuss this activity during our class discussion. Now, if you are watching this video, you try to answer this one para during sa klase nato, we can easily check your output. Next, we have here, write the symbolic statement in words. Use the following statement. Your P statement is climate change affects the world's weather. Your Q statement, there is accelerated sea level rise. Your R statements is global temperatures will not be smooth over time. And your S statement will be there are more intense heat waves. So number 5, so you need to write 5 and 6. You just need to write the symbolic statement in words. Okay, that is your activity number 1. Let's have example number 5. Let P represents P is greater than 3. And let your Q statement 6 is less than 0. Find the truth value of P or Q and P and Q. So let's try this one. Solution. Let P is equals to P greater than 3. That is true, right? And your Q statement is 6 is less than 0. That is a false statement. Thus, your P statement stated here that true, your P statement is 5 is greater than 3. That is true. Your Q statement is 6 is less than 0. That is false. So that means your P and Q. So what is your P and Q lagi gani class? Or P or Q. When one statement is true, the answer is true, class. Your P or Q or your disjunction. For your conjunction P and Q, okay, if one statement is false na class, that means the answer is false. So we have here P and Q or conjunction. Let's construct a table of values for not P or Q or P. Okay. Solution. Since there are two statements there, P and Q only, so that means our truth table now is our P, statement P is true, true, false, false. And our Q statement is true, false, true, false. Again, how will you write this one? If nakay dua ka statement class, that means 2 raised to 2, that is 4. We have 4 statements lang in each. So that means, how will you write this one? So first, you will put the half part is true, 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 and then half part is false, false. And then Q statement, alternate lang class, true, false, true, false. Next, that is the standard truth table of values. 2 raised to 2 is equals to 4. Next, so it's stated here that not P first. Let us evaluate not P first. So you look at the P statement. Now, if true, if your proposition is true, that means your not P is false. Next, if true class ang imong proposition P, that means your not P is false. Next, if false imong statement P, your not P is true. If false imong statement P, your not P is true. Again, negate lang class. Bali lang niya. Next, since we've already determined the not P, we will now identify the not P or Q class. Again, how can we identify the disjunction or not P, not P or your connective is Q? So you look at the not P statement and the Q statement. Okay. And your connective is OR, so you need to remember that true true lang siya class when both statement is false. So the rest are true. So true, false, if one statement is true, that is true na din class. True, false, true. False, false, that is false. True, true, that is true. False, true, that is true. Okay. Now, we're almost there na class. We've already now identified the not P or not Q. Now, let's proceed now the negation of your not P or Q. So, let's negate this one. So, you just need to look at your answer in not P or Q class. So, negate lang anak niya class. Bali lang ani niya. Kini nga mga statement. So, since true diri so false. So, pag false diri class sa not P or Q, imong not P or Q, that is true. Next, if true, false. If true, false. Next, the last part now is we need to identify the not P or Q or P statement. So you will just look. So or man na siya class, disjunction siya, this statements and the P statement. Again, pag disjunction gani or nga connective, mo false mo true ra siya when both statement is false. So we have false, true, true. True, true, true. False, false, false. Mo false ra siya when both statement, again, mo false ra siya when both statements are false. Then false, false is false. Okay. So that is your final answer now. That is true, true, false, false. Again, sa conjunction, mo true ra siya when both statements are true. So the rest are false. In disjunction, or nga connectives, mo false ra siya when both statements are false. The rest are true. Now, it's up to you to try example number 7. Construct the table of values of P or Q and not Q and R. So since here we have first statement is P, second statement is Q, and third statement is R. So that means we will have 3 statements here. So that is 2 raised to 3. That is 2 times 2 times 2. We have 8 statements all in all. So how will you write your proposition here or your table, truth table? So your P statement, since 8 man ka buklas, so upat ang i-write nimo first nga true. Then upat ka false dayon. Next, sa imong Q statement, itagduha sila class. True, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. And sa last statement nga R, alternate na din siya class. True, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. That is the standard na class nga truth table class. Pag naakay tulo ka proposition, ing ani na gid iyang noun always. So you just need to remember the pattern class. Pag tulo gani ka statement, again, ang imong P statement, upat ka true isulat, upat ka false dayon. Sa Q statement, itagduha class, duha ka true, duha ka false, duha ka true, duha ka false, and your R statement is true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. That's all for today. I hope that you've learned something out of this lesson. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your college friends class. Please don't forget for all my students to try to answer the practice or the activities here, and during our class, we will try to answer that one class. That's all for today. See you next time. Goodbye.